For number 10, it's a little bit harder than with 8 and 9 because now our a value is not 1. It's some other number besides 1, which in this case it's a 3. So now's where we use the method called bottoms up. So the first thing you do in bottoms up is you multiply your a value by your c value. So remember, a is the number in front of x squared, so our a is 3, and c is the constant, the number without a variable. So in our case, c is positive 10. So we're multiplying 3 by 10 and getting 30. So the second thing you want to do is list your factors of 30. So we have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10. We don't have 4 times the number giving us 30, but 5 times 6. And then we go to 6 times 5 and we start repeating them. But when we look, we want the ones that add to get our b value, which in this case is negative 11. None of these are going to add to get negative 11. They all have a positive sum. So we have to remember, when we multiply two numbers to get a positive, they can both be positive or they can both be negative. So now we know we have negative 1 and negative 30, negative 2 and negative 15, negative 3 and negative 10, negative 5 and negative 6. Don't forget, if you don't know all the factor pairs, go to your y equals and put in 30 divided by x and look in your table and it'll give you your factor pairs. So now we can find the pair that adds to get negative 11. It's negative 5 and negative 6. So we're going to start off and write our preliminary answers just like we did on numbers 8 and 9, which were our final answers then. So we're going to write our binomials. X times x is x squared, and then using the negative 5 and negative 6, writing our binomials as x minus 5 times x minus 6. Now, we're not finished at this point. Those are just our preliminary factors. If we multiplied this out, we wouldn't get what we started with. X times x is not 3x squared. So we have to do what's called dividing by a to undo the multiplication we did up here from a to c. So remember, our a value is 3, so we're going to divide both of these factors by 3. Don't forget that you always have to, that was step number 3, we always have to simplify the fraction if it will simplify. Well, 5/3 won't simplify, but 6/3 will. So that factor becomes x minus 2, since 6 divided by 3 is 2. The ones that will not simplify, or when you simplify stay a fraction, those are the ones that you use bottoms up on. So now we can move the bottom number, which is the 3, up in front of the x and write that as 3x minus 5. So this is my final answer. If I were to multiply it out, 3x times x gives me 3x squared. My outside's negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. My inside's negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and those combine to get negative 11x. And then negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Now, none of these had a GCF that you needed to factor out, but remember, you should always check for that first.